They can be really, really good for you if they are genuine, or they can be really bad for you and even ruin your life if they're fake. Yes, we're going to be talking about friendships today, both the good and the bad, and we'll be giving you some signs to look out for that identify toxic friends, and hopefully by the end of the show, you will be able to appreciate your good friends and also see if you yourself are a good friend. My guests tonight are Natalie Lue, founder of Baggage Reclaim, who's going to be talking to us about toxic friends. And I've also invited my very own best friend to the show, and you'll get to meet her later on after the first break. And also don't forget, since it's a Friday, Lisa Marie will also be joining us with some fashion tips. And I'll also be featuring a ladies at lunch that I did with my best friend. And you'll also have a chance to win a free 3-course meal and a bottle of wine. It's just some simple questions, so you just have to look out for the right answer. And if you want to get in touch at any point during the show, you can also email chris@chrissybshow.tv, or you can Facebook us, The Chrissy B Show. Tell us if you've had toxic friends in the past, friends that have been bad for you, and how you dealt with that. Or if you want to give a shout out to a really good friend of yours as well, you can do that. And you can also call 020-7686-6300 if you'd like to share something. So I'm going to introduce my first guest, and that's Natalie Lue from Baggage Reclaim. Good evening, Natalie.
Hi, Chrissy.
So good to see you on the show.
Thank you.
So tell us, first of all, what is Baggage Reclaim?
It's a self-esteem and relationship site where I use my experiences and observations to help people basically improve their lives and their interpersonal relationships.
Okay, and how did that all start in the first place?
It started with a bad date about 8 years ago.
We've all had one of those, haven't we?
Yes. And I just felt frustrated after being on this date, because it was actually a bad date with a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And I wondered why I wasn't interested in decent, available guys, and always seemed to go for people who were unavailable. And it sort of steamrolled from there. And when I sort of evaluated my own life and made changes, people were very sort of inspired by what I was doing, and I was sharing what I was learning along the way about my commitment issues and my self-esteem. And I've now been doing it for 7 years.
Wow, that's fantastic. And I'm pretty sure that people identify with you because you are quite honest about your experiences and what you've been through and everything.
Yeah, I think that when you can sort of use your own experiences to help to translate difficult situations of people that we can be quite perplexed by. We tend to think that it's unique, you know, to us. Nobody else is going through this. It's because I've said something. It's because I've done something.
Yeah.
You know, and what can I do to make them be different? And so when they realise actually it's not unique, and they're not
the only ones going through it. Right?
They're not going crazy. They actually feel really empowered by that. And I'm just an ordinary person. You know, I'm not a psychiatrist or doctor or anything. And so using my experiences and people seeing that I can change my life is also, you know, really sort of inspiring for other people as well.
Definitely. So tonight we're going to be speaking about toxic friends. So you've had your own experiences as well with these kind of friends. How would you identify maybe a toxic friend, would you say?
When you have a toxic friendship, one of the key things to realize is that it's not a mutual friendship. And any relationship that you have, especially as adults, needs to be mutual love, mutual care, mutual respect, mutual trust. When you have a friend who you feel bad about yourself around them, and it might be because they're quite aggressive, you know, towards you, but sometimes it's quite passive aggressive, and there's kind of these kind of sneaky little things that kind of creep upon you and you go, what did they just say to me? Or what did they just do?
You kind of make excuses for it, don't you? You think, oh, maybe I was just imagining things. Or I don't
want
to
another
think the
sign
worst
as well.
of her.
When you have a friendship where you need to keep making excuses for why they've said or done something to you, and when it's very imbalanced, where it feels like you're quite diminished in the friendship, where they seem to be very powerful, and where you're also suppressing who you are in the friendship, you feel like if you want to stay friends with them, then you shouldn't be as honest as you are. You shouldn't be the person that you are, that you should kind of play along with them. You might find as well that they interfere with your other friendships that you have. There might be jealousy. The possessive jealousy, the envy as well. And also, some of them in toxic friendships thrive on when you're down. You know that friend, when you're on the up, when you're in a new relationship, they don't want to know about it. When you're down and out and you're struggling, everything's going wrong for you, they're right there, beside you, almost enjoying it, but not really doing anything.
It's just amazing how, like, and I'll say I include myself in this, how we kind of still stay with friends like this. Because I remember having a friend, she was quite nasty to me actually, and like I used to help her a lot with like studying and stuff. I think was it college or before then, I can't remember. But she was very sort of picky and like used to make snide comments, and as soon as like the exams finished, I didn't see her again. So obviously I was being used for that time, but I still hung around. But I don't know what it was. I think because I was quite a sort of lonely person, I kind of liked having her around because she was quite popular.
Yeah.
And you know, but she was such a user, and I didn't. And my dad was saying, look, be careful of that girl because she's not all right. My dad warned me.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, she's fine. She likes me. She's just a bit weird sometimes, but.
Yeah, and exactly, and it's the whole, there you see that you're sort of making excuses for how she is, and probably even, if you find you kind of blaming yourself in the friendship where they're doing things, but you're kind of internalizing it and going, it's something, you know, there's something wrong with me here. If I was doing something better, if I was being a better person, they would be a better friend to me.
It sounds like an abusive relationship,
well,
it can
really
be. Like, you know, like when you see like women getting what's the word, abused and emotionally abused. It's
but you can have that in friendships
that.
as well. And I have found that when people speak to me about making changes in their lives after a difficult romantic relationship, that when they start putting down boundaries, it turns out that they actually have difficult friendships in their lives where they have boundary issues there. They've got friends who keep borrowing money from them, but then they don't hear anything from them, you know, after that. There's a lot of, I think in toxic friendships, you can tend to give an awful lot, but feel like you're not really kind of getting anything back. And it's not about keeping score, but it's about realizing when you're being
sometimes you're used.
You're being taken for a bit of a mug, you know, in your friendship. I think toxic friendships as well can be a bit juvenile in a way. You know, it's this kind of the he said, she said, you know, all this snide stuff, the people talking amongst themselves, the cliques and feeling like you're being put out of it and drawn back in, and you know, feeling like you're in high school, but you might be in your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s, and it can be very disruptive to your life. And when you start feeling like you're going to do crazy things to keep friendships, like doing drugs and you know, or you know, abusing alcohol, or you know, or picking on others in your friendships, that's when you realize it's not a good friendship to be in at all.
I mean, with friends as well, it's a sign of a good friend if after you've been with them or while you're with them, you feel good about yourself and you feel, because I remember having a friend that anytime I spent time with her, I always ended up feeling guilty because it's like things that she used to speak about and people that she used to speak about, it was quite negative. And after I was like, oh, I feel quite bad now because she used to say sort of a lot of negative things.
Well, that's the thing.
You shouldn't feel that way with friends.
Toxic friendships as well don't necessarily have to go into that zone of being, you know, abusive. It can be like somebody turning up as your friend, like a rubbish truck, and dumping all of their negativity on you, whether it's about themselves or about other things that are going on in their lives. They just treat you like this dumping ground, you know, to pour, you know, their opinions and feelings on. And they also, you know, these sort of codependent friendships where you're trying to have like a healthy friendship with them, but they're kind of relying on you too much to give them everything. And then you feel like, if I go and see other friends, or you know, if I don't do as they want, then I'm going to be upset. And so it's all this sense of guilt, and even sometimes having a sense of shame in the friendship. And that's the thing. All of these things are not components, really, of a friendship.
That's right. I mean, I'm going to obviously be introducing my best friend afterwards. We're going to speak about some things because we changed a lot as well over the years. But something else that I noticed, I think, is a really like big sign is if you have to. You keep some things to yourself. Like if you've got a piece of good news, the first thing I want to do is tell my best friend or tell my close friends. And I don't feel like, oh, I have to hide this from this person. But if you're thinking, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't tell her because you know, she'll feel bad, or she's going to react in a certain way. Although I understand, for example, if she's going for a hard time, say she's just lost her job, and then I get a promotion, for example. I'm not going to go say, oh, I just got a promotion. But on the other hand, your friends should be happy for you if you get
absolutely. And I think sometimes, you know, people tell me stories as well about how they have a friend, and there doesn't necessarily have to have been a bad circumstances haven't taken place, but if they tell them something good about themselves, then they're going, oh, I'm so rubbish, I'm so this, I'm so that. So it feels like they don't want to say anything good about themselves because this person's then going to run themselves down, and it's just going to take the fun and the goodness out of their news.
That's right. So I was actually speaking to about this survey before. There was a survey conducted last year, 18,000 women, women by today.com. 84% of women struggle with so-called toxic friends. That's really high. Who are self-absorbed, emotionally draining, critical, or backstabbing. 65% complained of having a self-obsessed friend, and 59% said their closest friend drained all their energy reserves. That's what you were talking about. But, and we're going to talk, if you maybe highlight some good qualities of good friends as well. This is a professor of psychiatry. A number of studies have shown that close friendships reduce stress, lessen the risk of depression, improve health outcomes, and even help you to live longer.
Absolutely. I mean, I really treasure my friendships. I've got some friendships that stretch back, sort of 25 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
But, since, when I moved to London, a lot of my friends, we were all sort of in a home away from home here.
Yeah.
And so I've got good, strong friendships with people I've met through work and different experiences since I've become a mum as well. And I think that...
have your friends changed since you had your kids, do you think? Or you have sort of gained new friends?
A little bit, but a number of my friends sort of became parents around the same time. And I found I didn't kind of just make friends with people just because they were mums, because you can't just have common ground just because you've all given birth type of thing. Because that's a dangerous assumption to make. I learned that through, hard-earned experience. But... I have found that you do talk about certain different things. There's certain people you might bond over the fact that, just some of the stresses of parenthood, for instance. It's good to have a laugh with your honest mates. But some of my close friends are still single. Yeah. And, there's some of the friends I tend to go out with actually the most. And we have, we have a great laugh. But I just found that we're all a bit more mature. I found actually my friendships, we're not talking about other people behind their backs in the friendships. We've all just got too many things, sort of going on. And we don't live in one another's pockets. You remember like when you were in your teens or in your 20s, and if you weren't calling each other every day, you'd all be falling apart. It's like your whole life is coming to an end, type of thing. But
same, it's not that needy kind of friendship.
But I feel like I'm at a stage of my life where I've got really good, enduring, friendships from different areas of my life. And some of these people I would have been friends with from before I'd sort of sorted my own life out. And so those are friends as well that they can kind of grow with you and be there through the difficult times as well.
So tell us some signs of a good friend and some qualities.
I think, it's that mutual. So, when you're with somebody your friend is somebody who's going to be there for you in good times and in bad. They're not going to encourage you into, dubious situations, but they're also not going to try and micromanage you either. You can be honest with respect, to each other. And there's a genuine bond and affection there. You're both making efforts, but you're not sort of, again, micromanaging the effort that the two of you make. Whereas,
it should be natural, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it's organic. I find that's a word I use a lot about relationships. That it should be organic, and it's not about, oh, well, I called you 5 times in January, and
you schedule everything.
But it's recognizing that you both kind of have to make effort, and sometimes one of you is going to have a more crazy life than the other, and the other one will step in. But just kind of, you're both making a consistent effort. It's also as well, you don't make kind of assumptions about one another. You want to be in reality with each other. And you're willing to listen and not kind of project, onto each other as friends. It's that compassion and empathy as well. Yeah. I find that in toxic friendships, the empathy and the compassion is missing. Whereas in real, genuine friendships, you've got the laughter. Yeah, that sort of,
Just be yourself.
You're both being yourselves, and it's like you say something, and then you both look at each other, and then you just kill yourselves laughing. Or sometimes you can have a good cry with them. There's nothing like having a good old cry with your closest friends. You can say your innermost thoughts and not feel like you're going to be judged by somebody who is because your genuine friend doesn't judge you for being you. And you're allowed to make a friend or make a mistake with a friend, and they're not going to sit there and go, oh, don't worry about it.
And everything.
But they're not going to criticize you, but they'll support you. And my friends have supported me through some of my dodgiest of times, and they would be honest with me and say, look, it's not the wisest thing. Look, I'm here. Sometimes you just need to be there and to listen as a friend. Sometimes actually you just got to sit back and go, okay. And save the advice and because in my line of work, it's very easy for me to be like, okay, here's all the advice. But sometimes you just got to sit there and listen and go, it'll be okay. Sometimes that's all it takes.
Okay, it's so true. It's very good advice. Actually, Natalie, would you stay on for the second part as well?
Of course,
because we've reached the end of the first part, and I want to keep you on longer because I think we've got more to chat about. If you don't mind.
No, that's absolutely fine.
Don't want to get you to go home too late because you're going to get far away.
To ride the kids with their dad.
All right, okay, that's all right. So we're going to keep Natalie on for a bit longer as well. So after the break, I'll also be joined by my very own best friend, and we'll be talking about our friendship and what we think makes a good friend as well. So if you want to participate, you can on chris@chrissybshow.tv. See you after this. Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show, where we're speaking about friendship, the good and the bad. And by the way, I just wanted to give a little shout out to two lovely people that I met today. That's Joy and Bright Ogude. I hope I got the surname wrong. I had a radio interview today on Liberty and I met these two lovely people. You know, those kind of people that you take an instant liking to because they're so bubbly and so nice. I just wanted to say a big hello to you both, and I did promise to give you a shout out, so I just did. But now, let me go first of all to some street interviews, and we've asked people from the public what they think about friendships, and here's what they told us.
In the streets of London to find out just what is important in a friendship. Let's go and ask the public. What qualities do you think you look for in a friend?
Someone who's like comfortable in their own skin, honest, like will look out for you, and like if you're having a bad day, you know, you can call them at any time, they'll come help you out.
Loyal and reliable, I think, are important, and obviously someone who you can have fun with and get on with well.
Loyalty, integrity, honesty, and always being there for each other.
Somebody you could absolutely trust with problems that you may have that other people don't know about. Somebody who makes you laugh, somebody you can go to a party with. I mean, I'm quite old now, but you know, in my younger days.
I think reliability is very important. Being there for your friends, being around them at the hardest times, doing things that other people can't for you. I think friends are always got your back.
Trust, obviously trust, patience as well, because sometimes your friends are doing things that you don't want them to, but you just got to be there as a friend.
It's being honest with each other, being trustworthy and being reliable for each other.
Well, as someone you can trust, and obviously loyalty.
Honesty. Something you can count on, someone you know you can always rely on, and at the same time you know they'll always tell you the truth and be harsh when they need to.
And there we have it, the public have spoken. The important qualities in a friendship have been revealed. Back to you in the studio, Chrissy.
Thank you to the lovely Excel. So now I'd like to also introduce my best friend, Helena. How are you, darling?
Hi, I'm fine.
So lovely to have you here. You've lost your voice a bit. She's on the
yes,
because she's had a bit of flu, haven't you? Yeah. So tell me about yourself. Let's talk about how we first met, first of all. So it was about 12 years ago.
Yes.
Right? Now, we worked in the same company. I was in an office and she started as a cleaner. She didn't speak any English. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I noticed something different about her immediately, because the way she used to clean was like, oh my gosh, she used to even take the pen holder off my desk and she used to empty it and she used to clean it. I've never seen anyone do that before. But she didn't speak any English, but I just noticed like sort of the bright smile, the friendliness and everything like that. And you learn English really fast. I was so impressed.
Do you think so?
Really, really, really impressed. And then I moved on to another position, and she actually ended up taking the position that I had, which was a management position actually.
Yes.
So she moved up really quickly because I saw like the enthusiasm, and like she really wanted to learn English quickly, and she was very smart. Still are.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So that's something that I noticed about her immediately, and then our friendship developed from there, didn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to talk
so
today?
So much has happened. No, I mean, you can start.
Okay. All right. So let's give some like qualities as well. And please feel free, Natalie, to jump in as well. You've met already. So one of the things that I love about Elena, for example, is that she's very honest with me. So not in a way to put me down, right? Because she doesn't say things that make me feel bad about myself. But I know that she will genuinely say something so that I don't make a fool of myself, basically. So if, for example, I walk out with my hair looking crazy or like something's wrong, you know, not looking great, she will tell me about that. And like that, I think you need people like that around your life. You've got something stuck in your teeth or something like that. Yeah. Most people just sort of leave you there standing, and then but when you look at yourself in the mirror, you think, oh my gosh, did I just
that gets on my nerves.
Yeah, so that's...
You're talking to someone and you've got this thing in your teeth or something, and no one ever tells you anything. It's like,
that's just like a small example, but obviously there's other things, like if she sees something you like, maybe you're being too negative, or like for example, if I was feeling sorry for myself, she's like, oh, come on, you know.
I think we've become more like sisters kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, we are very different. We don't have many things in common, but I think that's what kind of brought us closer, because we have many things in common though.
We have shared values probably.
Because
you don't need to have like common interests per se, but you have clearly shared values.
Yeah, we do.
That your personality, your characters are obviously quite similar in
Yeah.
terms of how you want to kind of be as people, and that works very well for a friendship.
True.
I think we're both quite like positive people, which is something really,
and
really good.
we'll tell each other things as they are, you know,
Yeah.
sincerity.
Yeah.
We argue a lot as well, by the way.
But that's really healthy.
Yeah,
we're going to start now. I'm not arguing. We don't argue.
You know, but it's like sisters. I mean,
But you should be able to argue. A lot of people are afraid of conflict, and they think, oh, well, if I have conflict with a person, whether it's a family member or a friend or a romantic relationship, it's doomed.
Yeah.
They're a bad person, you know. Whereas actually, in a healthy mutual relationship, friendship, you should be able to have a conflict and come out of the other side of
And
it.
if you do, it's because you're being honest, and like you say things that maybe the other one doesn't like, but at least you've said it.
And you can't be perfect all of the time, you know.
It's
You can't. Sometimes you're going to say things and wind each other up, you know, or it's going to be misinterpreted.
She knows exactly when I'm like not in the mood for talking or anything. But she does something that really gets on my nerves.
All right, you're just going to start on
It's
me.
when she doesn't pick up the phone.
Because she expects me to answer the phone every time she calls, but sometimes I
don't call you. I don't call you all the time. Anyways, I'm not doing this.
She told me about this the other day, and I was like, "Oh, oops, okay." Then. So I was in a meeting today. I don't normally answer my phone when I'm in a meeting, and I picked up straight when I said, "I'm in a meeting." Okay.
I told her off the other day. I said, "You don't pick up the phone. This really gets on my nerves." But yeah, you know, I'm not perfect. But yeah, something I admire about Chris is something that really called my attention, because you know I'm past my 30s and I've met many people, I've tried to be friends with many people, but you don't share the same values with everyone you meet along your, you know, the way. Something that I liked about her is
So
that
distracted me just now.
That she's very disciplined and very sincere and very honest, and how can I say, she makes time for you.
Yes, yeah.
Do you understand? I'm not. I sound like a complete needy. I call you all the time, and I'm like, she makes time for me. No, that's not what I mean. Not in that way.
But no,
she's not
makes
selfish.
time for the friendship.
Yeah, she's not selfish.
No, and you're consistent. I think that's. You don't have to be living in each other's pockets, but I think that if you're consistent about who each of you are as people, but you're also fairly consistent in the friendship, you know, about just, you know, keeping up with the friendship. You don't have to, again, live in each other's pockets. It makes a huge difference.
It does.
And we respect a lot, each other a lot. We are best friends, but I know, you know, where to draw the line. And I know, for example, that, of course, I'm not going to invade her privacy completely. She's married. I'm not going to, oh, what's going on with you and your husband?
Yeah.
You know, there is...
boundaries. I think that's a really, because some
like
people
that.
think, oh, we're friends. Like, there should be no boundaries if we're friends.
No,
but there has to be boundaries. And, you know, you have to sometimes be careful about what you... It's not about tiptoeing around, but you don't want to be insensitive about somebody's partner or their family,
or being too opinionated.
Or too opinionated, because then if they go and make up, you know, with that partner or with the family member, you're then looking at your friend and you're going, hold up a second here, you actually don't like my family, you don't like my partner.
No,
and it's not about censoring your opinion, but it's like knowing your boundaries, you know.
Yeah.
I remember I was out with a friend last year and she said something in front of a new friend. It was like totally like unnecessary. It was like slightly embarrassing because she's somebody I know through work. And I was a bit like, you can't kind of say that type of thing, you know, in front of, because you have to say it, otherwise you're just going to be annoyed about it. Yeah. And so it is that kind of knowing your boundaries. You don't want to embarrass.
Yeah, know your place, isn't it?
It is knowing your place, really.
You know,
you just got to have you're going to have that bit of a line there. Everybody needs like a boundary, like a personal electric fence type of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So that's something I wanted to say about Elena as well. She's very, very helpful and caring. So I remember, I never forget this time when I was really ill with the flu and like I was sort of home alone and I couldn't basically get up or anything. And she made sure she called me. She went and got my prescription and everything, came round, looked after me. And she's really busy all the time, but she did that for me and I thought that was really sweet. And she helps me at home sometimes. Because I'm really
Don't
busy.
give too much away. Don't give too much away.
When I'm really busy or something like that, one day she came around my house, she goes, okay, I can see you need a bit of help with the housework, and she just stood there and did my ironing for me and stuff like that.
We can be best friends anytime.
You see, I told you not to give too much away. I'm going to get a lot of...
I don't do it all the time. I kind of manage it sometimes. I mean,
but I know exactly
really
what you mean,
nice.
because the girl we got married a few months ago, and the girl who was maid of honour, when I was really unwell, she came and collected me, from my apartment, and I was huddled in the back of her car, sort of crying, could barely even see everything in the back of the car, and she just whisks me away, back to my place, make sure that I'm okay.
You never forget people like
you don't forget things like that.
You will never forget me.
Oh, of course I won't. Why, you're ending the relationship or something?
I love that. You will never forget me. It's a Tony Soprano voice.
No, she does understand my sense of humor.
Yeah, I do. It's corny sometimes. It's cool. And I think something as well that we really do have a lot of fun together as well. We don't get to go out that often because we're both really busy, but we have our favourite place to go, which is we love Serpentine Cafe in Hyde Park, because we both love nature and like being around. It's just to de-stress and just have a have a cup of tea and a coffee and just to de-stress and everything. So I think that's really important, that you should be able to have fun. Oh, there's a picture of us.
Oh, there we are.
Isn't it lovely there? It's so
wonderful.
tranquil and nice, and like
we always like to go back there.
We try to do that as as often as possible.
But there's so many qualities about my friend Chris. I'm not going to speak to her.
Let's hear some comments as well from the viewers, because I'm going to start getting big-headed here. But Amelia, have you got any comments from our viewers, please?
Yes, we do. We have a comment here from Carol. She gives her views on what she thinks a true friend is. She says, a true friend is always happy to see her friend succeed. She has respect for her friends and even admires her instead of being jealous. Nowadays, it's very hard to find such good friendship. The bottom line is, if you want to have true friends, you have to treat them the same way you would like to be treated.
That's right. All right, before we continue chatting, let's go to our ladies at lunch. And this time I took Elena with me. And we've got a little competition for you. If you get this question right and you email me the right answer to chris@chrissybshow.tv, you can win a fabulous 3-course meal. The food was lovely, wasn't it, Elena?
It was delicious.
Yeah. And a bottle of wine as well. So the question is, which famous singer used to eat at this restaurant nearly every week? So let's take a look at this. Olá a todos, nós estamos aqui para provar comida brasileira. And I'm here com minha amiga Helena, because she's doing ladies at lunch with me today. That's all the Portuguese I know, but she speaks Portuguese. So tell us.
So well.
Is it good?
Yes.
Okay, so we're here to try some Brazilian food today, and the restaurant is called
Made in Brazil.
So we're going to go inside and check out the food. So follow us.
First dish is feijoada.
Looks nice.
Feijoada is the national dish from Brazil.
Mine.
And that's the farofa.
Yeah,
that made from cassava. We just mix all together. Yeah.
Okay. It looks nice.
Ladies, the second dish is called moqueca. It's also a classic dish from the north of Brazil. It's a seafood stew. Hope you like. Enjoy.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So tell me a bit more about the food that you serve here.
We serve modern and traditional Brazilian foods. Yeah. Of course, we do something else that is not Brazilian, but the main thing is Brazilian food.
Ooh, what's that? Ooh, found something interesting.
Our most popular dish are feijoada. That's the traditional Brazilian, the one that you have. Also moqueca, and we have a special steak. It's called picanha, because in South America we cut differently.
Are there any special drinks that you serve here as well?
Well, we are called the House of Caipirinha. Caipirinha is the traditional Brazilian cocktail that is getting bigger and bigger. And here, made in Brazil, we have more than 200 types of cachaça. We have the largest selection, apparently, in Europe.
Now, you had a very famous regular here, didn't you?
Yeah, Amy. She used to come here a lot.
Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, Amy Winehouse, yeah. And because she used to live around here. And yeah, she used to come here like every week for a meal and, you know.
Can we ask what she used to have?
Yeah, she used to have caipirinha. Oh, did she used to have caipirinha.
Good choice.
Yeah. And unfortunately, when she died, was not only for us, but the whole Camden. Everybody was very, very sad.
So if people want to know more, if they want more information, what should they do?
Well, they can check our website. That is www.madeinbrazil, Brazil is spelled with S, .co.uk.
Thank you so much, Renata, for a wonderful meal. It's lovely.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much.
Okay, so did you get the answer right? Who was the famous singer that used to eat there regularly? Chris at chrissybshow.tv if you want a chance to enter the competition. Well, we are going to go to a break now. So, Lena, you're going to stay with me, aren't you?
Yeah.
Natalie, thank you so much for joining us, and all the best with your blog and everything. It was great. It's really nice meeting you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so after the break as well, we're going to be joined by Lisa Marie with some fashion tips. So join us then. Welcome back, and now it's time for Lisa Marie to join us with her fashion tips. Hello.
Hello.
Tell us about friendship. What do you think?
I think that when it's right, it's an absolutely amazing thing. Like, I've got a group of friends, there's like 6 of us all together, and they are my absolute closest friends because they'll tell me if I'm wrong, but also we can laugh together. You know that when you're in a situation and only someone else knows exactly what you're thinking in that moment, and it's like you can't speak about it, but when we look at each other, we know. And that's the thing, we don't even have to speak about it, we just know. We'll have the biggest laugh, we go on holiday, we do so many things. So
actually, you reminded me of something just, and then can I just say as well, I have a lot of other close friends, so please don't be jealous. The ones
me too.
We have mutual friends actually as well, that we're really close to. So
I told them before I came on the show, don't be jealous. Especially Sandra, don't be jealous.
Oh, Sandra, yeah, she's lovely.
But you know something that people usually say about friendship, that when you, the only bad thing about friendship, best friends, is that when you have something serious to tell the other person, she doesn't really take it seriously, like, you know, we were trying to help her. But I don't agree with that.
I
think if you are, if you are really close and you really, you know, you are good friends,
that's what a friendship is. It's like, even if it is hard, you love that person so much
and
that
you know
you don't mind if
the
they're
person
upset with you, as long as you've told them the truth and given them that opportunity.
And you know, I know she wants the best for me, and vice versa.
Yeah.
That's right. Should we get to the fashion tips? And we can talk more about friendship. We have more time, yeah?
No problem. Okay, so tailoring is something that is coming back this season. It's all over the high street, and I know that a lot of people are just used to the normal blazer, matching skirt, matching kind of thing, but there's so many different prints, brocades and all that kind of thing that are out there. So I've just chosen a couple of outfits to put together for people to get an idea of what to do, and they can be adapted for workwear as well as casual, or, you know, just when you're going out. So we've got a couple here. So my first one is I've got this mink contrast collar blazer from New Look. It's a long line blazer. It's $29.99. So again, if you're one of those people who you don't really like it when it cuts off at the waist, you want to cover up your bum a little bit, skim over some things, then this is a perfect kind of length for you. These straight leg trousers are the new kind of length for the season. So they're called 7/8, which means it literally just comes up to about the ankle. So it's really flattering. Obviously, make sure you're getting kind of true to your size, because otherwise, if you're getting it too small, it's not going to look right. The belt bit and that, it's not going to be right at all. So the shoe boots, which are there, are from very.co.uk. They're £45.
Yeah, those are nice.
Loving their peep toe.
Just a question about the trousers. Does it suit everyone, those kind of trousers?
They will suit most people because it's covering up the ankle. So if you're the kind of person who's scared you've got too thin ankles or you're too big ankles, it's just about what you put with it. If you are scared that you have too kind of chunky ankles, don't always go for the shoe boot, go for a court shoe instead. It's got a high platform. So that can help balance that out. But because of the long line blazer, if you are somebody who is kind of like pear-shaped, the long line blazer is going to kind of cover that up and skim it over. So if you've got larger hips or a muffin top, anything like that, you would be all right with something like this. And then I started with this shirt from River Island. It's only £20 with that the ribbon detail at the neck as well. And that can also be worn in, say, like a monochrome look as well. So you can really mix up those pieces. So all very good there for that look.
Yeah, I like the look.
Oh, thank you.
Me too.
Next look is this Chanel kind of inspired jacket. That's £49 from Dorothy Perkins. That kind of Chanel sparkly tweed, it never goes out of fashion. It's a classic. It's copied absolutely everywhere. So it's similar to kind of what you have on right there, Chrissy. So yeah, we started with these cherry coloured jeans. They're from Oasis at £45 to get a nice pop of colour in there. And again, if somebody is not too comfortable with showing off the bum, so because of where the jacket cuts off, this top, it's an embellished lace top, £35 from Wallace, and they've got 10% off at the minute, so if you want to go down there. And so that will kind of cover that bit up there, so it's a little bit more covered for you. I love this bag. It's £40 from River Island. I think they have absolutely amazing range of bags. Leather look ones as well as the more premium leather, but this is a nice one that fits everything in, because we know that's when we like to pile it in. And then these studded shoes, which are amazing, they're only £27.99 from New Look, and that whole studding detail has been seen like Christian Louboutin and all that kind of thing, which prices obviously at like 10 times more than £27.99. So New Look as well, range of shoes are absolutely fantastic. So this is kind of something you can wear going to meet girlfriends for lunch or for dinner, if you know, because you can dress up jeans as well, and nice little alternative than your normal just dark jeans. Get a nice little pop of colour still in there for autumn winter. Lovely. And this the next look is an actual suit, and it's just a different take on a boring black suit. Black is classic, but everyone does that. This is a burgundy colour. It's really, really good value for money. That kind of peplum style jacket, it's £29.99 from H&M, and the trousers are only £24.99 from H&M, and it's a slim fit trouser, so it isn't always going to suit everybody. So if you don't like that slim fit, boot cut, as we know, flatters everybody. This embellished neck blouse, it's only £19.99 from New Look. So it's just a different way for you to make that kind of outfit pop a little more by just putting the detail on the neck. And then you don't always have to go overboard with your other accessories because of the detail that is everywhere else. A classic little slingback shoe from River Island at £50. And then we've got this cute clutch. It's $14.99 only from New Look with this metal-inspired corners. So nice little outfit there.
I like it.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you so much, Lisa.
No problem.
Now, just a final thing that we can speak about friendship as well, going back to the topic. Now, I was a person that used to think that I didn't need friends around me. And there were times, I think it was maybe some kind of defense mechanism, because I wanted friends. I wanted true friends. I'd had bad experiences with friends in the past. So I kind of just shut myself off, and I would be very sort of busy all the time. And you remember as well, because one of the first things that you said you didn't like was that I never made time.
She was like a workaholic.
Yeah. I still would be if I didn't have a
Do you know how I used to talk to her, get to chat to her a little bit more? It was when I was a cleaner back then. I used to go to her. I would love going to her office. I would even spend more time cleaning up. Oh,
so that's why you did the pens.
Hi, Chris. So, you're right. So what's up? Oh yeah, I'm working. I'm very busy.
Yeah, but I think as well, I kind of shut myself off, and then I was thinking, but I really want like good friends. I want to have nice friends around me to talk to and stuff like that. But I didn't really know how until I learned one day that I needed to change. I needed to start to be a good friend to people. So if you are sort of watching this and saying, but I'd love to have a best friend, or I'd love to have someone close to me, you can't wait for people to come to you. You need to start being a friend. So if you see someone that you identify with, try to get closer with that person, maybe invite them out for something, be giving to that person.
It's the best tip, because if you want friends, you have to be friendly.
Yeah.
You can't do it by shutting yourself away from everyone. If you don't put yourself a little bit out there to extend a hand, you can't expect
I
to
guess
get
that if you want a good friend, you have to do what you'd like someone to do for you,
yeah,
without expecting anything in exchange.
Definitely.
I remember that's when she became a bit more, you know, like, okay, I don't just work. Yeah. So I remember I didn't know her very well at the time, but I was going for my theory test. And I had failed like 2 years before. So I thought, no, this year, I'm going to make it. I'm going to do my driving complete, you know, practical and theory. And I went to her and I said, listen, can you help me? Because, you know, her English was better than mine, still is.
She's trying to catch up.
And so she helped me. And I remember, even though we were friends, she would say, okay, sit here. There was a time for reading. There was a time for snacks. There was...
Oh my gosh, that's it.
Yes, and I remember I would want to say,
more relaxed
you know what? You know, what are you doing tomorrow? Listen, we need to go back to chapter 1 because you have your exam very soon. And I said, okay.
That was you passed, reaching out, being friendly.
But I needed some discipline in my life. I passed my test first time.
There you go. See? And then we had fun.
Yeah,
kind of. That's when I started to lighten up a bit and not
maybe a year after or something. You kind of
a year. Wow. No, but it is important. You have to be sort of the person that is willing to change as well. You can't sort of be set in your ways and this is the way I am and this is the way I'm going to stay and you have to accept me for who I am. You need to look for ways to change as well because you're not going to make friends if you're very closed or you want things your own way all the time as I did and you know but you need to kind of
there's a time for everything, even for bathroom. With Chris, she's so organized. Okay, I don't have time. It's not on my diary, so I can't go.
She's so naughty. She's exposing everything on the show.
That's true friendship, isn't it?
Yeah, so yeah, it's been really nice. And now you know, if you feel like you know you don't have friends and you want to send me an email or something like that and you want to talk about it, I'm willing to correspond with you and give you some hints and tips as well. So you can email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv. Any final words, ladies, before we go about friendship?
I think the main thing that we said as well is about being friendly. I mean, the closest friends I have are such an addition to my life. They've been with me through the worst times and also through the best times, and they are like my sisters. So it's a wonderful thing to have a great friend.
It adds up to our life, I think. Yeah, and definitely. You know, my tip for friendship for everyone is don't give what you would like to receive without expecting anything in return. Do and you will see what comes back. Yeah. You know, this is...
Okay, let's just leave you with something from the Daily Mail as well. It says, healthy relationships can be just as important as a balanced diet and a good night's sleep.
Really?
They're essential. Okay, so we do have to go now, ladies. Thank you so much, Lisa Marie.
No problem.
Thank you, Helena. You're going to come out for a cup of tea now?
Oh, yeah, right after the show.
We just had one, actually. We had tea and cake before we came.
Right after the show.
I wasn't included.
I'm sorry.
That's not like, good friendship.
She eats everything. She eats all the biscuits.
I'm a very jealous friend. Okay? I'm joking.
Actually, I don't think I've got anything left in my chocolate tin, Helena.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not. Anyway, let's go. So, okay, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we are going to be back again on Monday at 9:30. But if you do want more information about the show, you can visit this website, chrissybshow.tv. And Monday's show will be about haunting and happy memories. So you can get involved in that. You can call and also email. More information will be up on our Facebook page as well. So, see you there. Bye-bye. Minha amiga Helena, ela é portuguesa do Portugal, mas ela sabe Brazilian food. We are so ready to tuck in right now, aren't we?
I wish you were here just to feel the smell of this food. Wonderful.
You smell the smell of food, you don't feel the smell of food.
Oh my goodness.
And there we have it. Inspiring women comes in all forms, in all shapes, in all walks of life. And there we have it. Inspiring women come from all... And there we have it, Chrissy. Inspiring women can be ordinary, simple, family members, or well-known public... There.